I start turning. So my heart just like at the thump, and I'm like the locks are really turning. Like my mom is here.
Yo, wait. Why the fuck did Kane leave?
You was just out here hating. We be staying out of the way. That's my thought, that's your bag. She don't even want me away. She don't even want you that way. He don't even know what he's saying. She with us. I told her to pop it like Zen. Yeah, she ready. No face to sell like a wedding. Thought you gon' pop shit while you hezzy. Need to go to fuck up, be kidding. I be high as hell like a pigeon. Nigga so cow, you turn to a fitting. She don't like two, nigga, I be shitting. Shut the fuck up, you ain't getting no digits. Ooh, I read them like boo. You overnight cool. Yeah, she love my buzz. I'm just walking this bitch now, love it, she give me a hug. Damn right, I had a part with that bitch, I show no love. I get this big bang on me, I do not spend that at the club. Bust down watch on me, that bitch got bust out buzz. You and this bitch throwing ones, ayy, I'm throwing dub. Bitch wanna leave with me, thought that you was. You was just out here hating, we be staying out of the way.
100K this, 100K that. RichMadeShaud the name, to be exact. And we back with another banger, another story time, as you can see by the title, to be exact. Before we get into this video, like the video. I'm gonna give you a few seconds. Right there, right up under the video, bro. Go ahead and like the video. You done? All right, bet. In that last video, I told y'all that I was gonna give y'all that story time on, you know what I'm saying, how I got caught, you know what I'm saying, beating my meat for the first and second time. Y'all the full rundown of how I got caught the very first time as well as the second time. So, obviously, let's go ahead and get started with the first time. Again, before we get into the actual story time, make sure you like the video. Like, comment, and share the video, right? And if you're new to the channel, make sure you sub. 100K on the way. But yeah, so 12-year-old me, I was just in the WWE for the most part. Girls wasn't really into me. I wasn't really into girls just yet. You know, I would say that I was just kind of like the typical kid. During summer break, I would just be in the house, kind of just chilling. I would either be playing like with my wrestling man, my action figures, or I would be watching wrestling or just watching movies when I would be in the house. I would be in the house, you know, watching movies, as I told y'all, obviously. So my mom, she had got a entertainment. We had an entertainment stand that we already had, but she went and bought an entertainment system, you know, a home theater system. One day I was just at home bored. And I set the whole, you know, I went ahead and I set the whole thing up. I set the thing up, and she had a movie case. It was a black and gray movie case that it was probably over like 30 like CD discs inside of it, with movies. And so I was literally watching. I would watch like everything that was in the case, you know, until there was nothing left. And so one day I went and opened up the case. And it was a disc that I thought, you know, it looked totally different. The title of it didn't register like any other, you know, actual movies that I had seen in this case. And so on the front of the CD was, the freaking CD said throat injection 2. So I'm like, throat injection. So I'm like, what the hell could that mean? So I'm thinking in my mind, I'm thinking like I told y'all in the last video, I'm thinking it's like something along the lines of like some gore type of stuff, like Saw or like Hostel or something gory like that, like throat injection.
Stop the cap.
And so I'm like, all right, fuck it. So, I'm sorry. I'm like, screw it. So I took the disc, I popped it in, you know what I'm saying? I see naked women. So I'm like, okay. I wasn't totally turned off to it, but I wasn't into it either. It was like totally new to me.
Okay.
So the advertisement was over, it take you to like the little home screen, and it had like 6 different chapters. And so basically it was just like 6 different girls like just giving head to like 7 dudes at once. Oh my God. It was like crazy. It was crazy. And so I actually believe the first time that I found the CD, I don't think like I did anything with it. I think I kind of just looked at it, saw what it was, and I was like, screw it.
Stop the cap.
And so the second time that I went and did it, now before I tell y'all what happened, my mother always got off work at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. So I knew whatever I did, you know, I had until 5 o'clock to have the house clean and everything done and ready for when she got in the house. So the second time when I actually had popped the disc in, you know, I saw what the guys was doing, you know what I'm saying, in the actual movie. And, you know, from what I perceived it as at the time, I kind of just saw them like moving like their hand like back and forth, and like it was just white stuff coming out. What the fuck? And so I'm like, okay, like this looks weird. Like this looks totally weird. But something in me felt, the left side of me felt that it was weird. The right side was saying try it. And so the 12-year-old me went ahead and tried it. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I kind of just started, you know, obviously I take my stuff out, I start doing it. My hand is just totally dry. So
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm like, okay, this is uncomfortable. I'm sure it shouldn't feel like this. So I go and I find some lotion. Now, I got this lotion and I like put it on myself. So I'm sitting there and I'm moving it back and forth, you know, trying to, I guess, get into it. And so as I'm doing it, like my stuff started, like it was like burning. What? And I'm like, okay. I'm like, why do I feel like a burning sensation? The lotion that I think I was using like some like bad, I went in like I remember going to like my mother's room and getting like, I snuck and grabbed like her Bath and Body Works lotion or something. Something that just shouldn't be going down there pretty much. And so that's why it was burning me. So that was like my first time actually doing it right there. Before I had finished the first time, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, like why isn't white stuff coming out of me? You know, as it is with these guys on screen. So the second time that I tried it, this was actually the time that I got caught. Instead of using the Bath and Body Works lotion, it was some other lotion that like we had in the cabinet or something. So I'm doing it this time. So I'm doing it. I'm still wondering like, why ain't nothing coming out? Nothing's happening. Okay, whatever. So I start feeling like this numb sensation down there. Like it started feeling numb, and I'm like, okay, well, like maybe it's about to come out. So I kind of sat back on the couch and I'm like, cause it like I didn't know like what the hell I was like really doing, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I was just it was feeling like it was like vibrating for a second. So I kind of like just got back on the couch. I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Never ended up ejaculating, of course. I never did that. It was almost like I just didn't know how. Like I did. Now that I'm thinking on it, I want to say I was probably closer to like just pissing everywhere than doing anything else. Now that I'm like older and I'm thinking about it now, but I'm still watching the porn and shit, porn or whatever. And so like I don't remember exactly what time it was, but it was nowhere near 5 o'clock. So let's just use 3:30 for example. Let's say it's 3:30. So I hear people, you know, like walking past the door or whatever. So I'm trying to keep my noise level down. And so I look up at the door, like our door, like in our apartment, our door, and the freaking, the lock start turning. So my heart just like get to thumping. I'm like, the locks are really turning. Like my mom is here. Type shit. So the locks are turning. So my heart just started thumping and I just started freaking out. So I remember I pressed the eject button thinking like everything was just gonna kind of erase itself like not even like considering that, okay, like you pressed eject, but the CD is still sitting there, so she's gonna see what you were doing, but whatever. So I get up, I run to the room, and she came in, and I think she like said my name or something, and I was like, yeah. And I do remember her, I think she tried to come in the room, and I said like, hold on, like I ain't got on no clothes or something like that. Cause I was like trying to, you know, wipe everything up or whatever. Asked me like later in the day, she said something like you was having a party while I was at work or something. And I'm like, what is she talking about having a party? Like for a split second, I genuinely thought like she really didn't know what I was doing. But then like, you know, that smart in me kind of told me like she know, like she just like trying to be funny, which I didn't understand why she was trying to be funny because I was so embarrassed that it was ridiculous. That's like what I remember for the first part as far as me getting caught the first time. Second time, my sister caught me. So this is actually, I was in 8th grade at the time, so this was probably back in like 2014, so probably a year or two after I got caught the first time. So same CD and all, throat injection too. By this point in time, this CD was just like a trademark in my life.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care. Jerry.
I remember I used to actually hide it. I used to have like this black stand with like 3 shelves in my room. I had the PS4 in the middle, the cable box on the last one, and I hide the DVD right up under the stand. So whenever I wanna, you know what I'm saying, watch it or do my thing, I take it from up under there. My mom had a computer. So I was in my room, I took her computer, I went in my room, I closed the door to do my thing. And so I swear I remember being at home by myself. And so the sister that caught me, she didn't even live with us. But I was in the house, I was in my room, I closed the door. So what I did was my door didn't have a lock on it. So I closed the door and I sat down on the floor like with my back up against the door. So like if somebody tried to open it, they couldn't. And that I would know like whoever's trying to come in like, all right, it's time to wrap this up. So I sit with my back against the door. I get to trying to do my thing. The sound up just a little bit to where like only I could hear it, but like you would really have to listen to hear it through the door. So my sister get to like trying to like turn the doorknob. So I'm like, at first I ain't saying nothing, I'm just quiet, but I'm up against the door. So she get to trying to open it. So I'm like just up against the door, I ain't saying nothing. So she like, Shawty. I'm like, yeah. She was like, what? She like, what you doing? What you doing? Open up the door. So I'm like, what? She was like, just open up the door. What you doing? And so I'm like, something I shouldn't be doing. Like, what
really,
you doing?
nigga?
She was like, open up the door. What you doing? I'm like, something I shouldn't be doing. What you want? And so she was just like, something I shouldn't be doing. What? And then I was just like, just leave me alone. So she walked away from the door. So I ended up just having to like stop what I was doing, shut the thing down, slide the CD back up under the entertainment system. And like I had to just wipe everything up and kind of just act like nothing had ever happened. But yeah, both times were embarrassing. If you made it to this point in the video, this is about the end of the video. If you made it to this point, comment 100K and tell me which story did you feel like was the funniest or more entertaining, the first time or the second time that I got caught. More fire content is on the way. If you want more story times like this, comment that, comment below, comment what type of story times y'all want me to do. And I'll have that, you know what I'm saying, out for y'all. But I think that's about it. Make sure y'all like, comment, sub, share the video if you enjoy it. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay rich made. And we out straight like that.
Shorty.